Hello, everybody. Welcome to a brand new episode. Yeah, brand new episode of Gabbin with Oof, episode 8, the Ocho, here on Oofman Entertainment YouTube channel. I am your host, your friendly neighborhood Oofman. Good to be back really quick soon. Thank you for everybody who's checked out the other videos. Thank you to my 100 subscribers to my channel. Thank you to all 100 of you so much. I tip my hat if I had one to you, but I don't. But I still thank you so much for letting me achieve that goal of 100. We are marching our way to, let's go with 150, and then we'll go on from there. And also, for my last video, episode 7, almost got 60 views on my channel. It's since the Gamma with Ooh series have started, it's been the most watched video, so let's get that up a little bit higher. Again, check out the archives of all the episodes of your friendly neighborhood Oofman here on YouTube. Now, what we're going to gab about today is, well, we're heading into this big weekend of wrestling where there's so many shows and all that, and I am excited for it. I'm excited especially for AEW's All In. But that was the topic of my last video, episode 7 of the March to All In. And like I said, it's happening this Saturday. As it's this recording, it's happening this Saturday. But what this episode is about, what we're going to gab about today is maybe you'll see for the first time, see your friendly neighborhood Hoofman not so friendly, and I'm actually going to rant. And so yeah, so we're not only are we going to gab, but I'm going to rant as well. And what I'm going to gab about and especially rant about is this weekend. So what is there to be a little upset about? Well, coming from my view, from my angle, I'm a little upset and annoyed at WWE because, as you are aware, if you are, I think you are, like I said, we have a big action packed weekend of wrestling. It starts off on Saturday. Well, Friday is SmackDown, there's that. But on Saturday, we have, like I said, AEW's big show of the year. I call it its WrestleMania type level show, All In from Texas. But here comes WWE with NXT's Great American Bash. Then there's WWE's Saturday Night's Main Event on NBC. And then on Sunday, we have the return of WWE Evolution, the all women's pay per view. Or, excuse me, PLE. So, why am I gabbing and why am I going to probably rant? Well, because this rant, and we're going to gab about, is WWE's pettiness. Yeah, WWE just couldn't give AEW the light, the spotlight, the shining moment. This is their big show, all in Texas. About almost 25,000 tickets sold and all that, regardless if it's a sellout or not, whatever. It's going to be a big show for AEW. And WWE just couldn't help themselves. They just couldn't let AEW have the weekend and go, yeah, let them have their show. Let's see if it's successful or it fails. Sit back and then relax. Laugh at them because we all know WWE is laughing at AEW. Nah, couldn't even do that. So let's rewind as to why I'm gabbing, why I'm frustrated. Well, it was about a year ago-ish when AEW announced that they were going to be, we're in 2024, so rewind. We're back in 2024 and it's announced all in Texas, not going to London. They're going to Texas. All right, cool. Bringing all in back to, well, they're taking it away from England, from them, and now they're going back here to America. So cool. From Wembley to Texas. Okay, cool. From Wembley to Globe Life Stadium, I believe it's called. Globe Life Field, whatever. Cool. No problem. Then WWE made a deal where they were going to bring back Saturday Night Main Events throughout the year. All right, no problem. Cool. Bring them back. The first couple ones are pretty cool. It's all retro. Everyone's all happy. Yada, yada. Cool. We're getting now into 2025, and then it's announced that there is a Saturday Night's Main Event in July, but no one knows when. It was kind of quiet, like, oh, when can it be? And we knew All In was in July, but okay, when can it be? Early reports had it in probably even May or June, but then the latest say it's like, oh no, it's going to be in July, early, the first weekend of July, possibly the weekend of 4th of July, and make it Americana, yada yada. But then out of nowhere, it is announced that their Saturday Night's Main Event is on July 12th from Atlanta. Once that was said, everybody knew where we were going. He was on podcasts, he was on other shows announcing that he's owed a rematch. So a Saturday night's main event in Atlanta, hint, hint, nudge, nudge. All right, Goldberg somehow is going to be involved. And now Goldberg is involved. And again, look back to my old video before of the road to All In. I actually talk about the road a little bit, about the road to Saturday night's main event, about the proper push, or actually the proper storytelling for this push of a match. And I mentioned Goldberg and Gunther. Fine. AEW gets word of Saturday night's main event, and they decide to push the show earlier. Now, All In is starting at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. Cool. So say you're like me, you're a fan of both, and let's say I was going to Texas. All right, cool. I can go to All In Texas. Starts at 2, their time 2, till 3 p.m. Even at home. All right, I can watch All In 3 o'clock. It'll be over by probably 8, 7, between 7 and 8. I mean, well, do I see it going 5 hours? Not really. But could Tony Khan push it to 5 hours? He could. But maybe let's just say, for argument's sake, it ends at 7:30. Cool. I'm here at home watching it. All right, I watch All In. Cool. It was a good show. Yay, yay, yay. And again, I gave my prediction. I'll do my predictions later with my good buddy Glenn. I believe we're doing it tomorrow later on. So it happens. All In happens. Give me a good half hour to recharge, refill my food, my fridge, my drinks, whatever. All right, let me turn on NBC and watch Saturday Night, whatever, however Vince McMahon said it. NBD, no big deal. Life went on. Then out of nowhere, we hear that NXT is bringing the Great American Bash as a pay-per-view or PLE or whatever. I think it's on Peacock here in America. Cool. You figure the Great American Bash, maybe it's July 5th, a week before Saturday night's main event, to give the fans a break, like, all right, AEW, WWE, cool. NXT, maybe July 5th, Saturday, right after the 4th of July, Great American Bash, makes sense to me. No, we find out it's on the 12th of July. And then the rumors started that WWE was going to bring back the women's only PLE, I keep calling it pay-per-view, but whatever, you know what I mean, of Evolution. A pay-per-view concept we haven't seen in 7 years. And now we have 3, count them, 3 shows on the weekend of All In. Has to be a coincidence, right? Pettiness is what it is. And what really, really charges my iPod about this weekend in WWE's pettiness is, unfortunately, I think the women are going to get blamed for the failure of Evolution. As of right now, this Wednesday, I did the nerdy thing. Wrestle Tickets has Saturday night's main event in Atlanta. Over 10,000 tickets have been sold. WWE Evolution, the very next day, on Sunday night, in the same building, has about 4,800 tickets sold. Not even half of Saturday night's main event. Why? I think the fans are burned out. I know you have diehards that would probably want to do too, but in this economy, which is, again, it's healing, it's coming back, but we're living the TKO era. Tickets are disastrously high. And let alone SummerSlam, which is another thing which I'll get into in a couple seconds. This one's 2 nights of the same show, so to speak. Here you have 2 different shows. You have to be a really, really, really big diehard to go to both. If I'm a fan, like, all right, am I choosing Saturday night's main event or am I choosing Evolution? I can't really go to both because of TKO's pricing. But my fear is that if the tickets remain less than 5,000 sold, I mean, they might give comp tickets, buy one, get 70 free, I don't know. But I've been seeing what's going on in social media that people who have bought tickets for Evolution that probably got the cheap tickets, the nosebleed tickets first, because they were probably the cheapest, like I said, they're now being moved to the lower bowl. Funny how that works. Because obviously WWE is not going to let these splatter spots of empty seats around. They're going to jam everybody closest to the ring, and then you shut the lights in the upper bowl and all that. But in the end, because of the lack of promotion and the time given for this pay-per-view to sizzle, and then we get to it again. It's all about the journey. I feel the women are going to be going to get the blame for this. It's like, see, some idiot out there, or even someone in TKOW is going to be like, see, we put the women out there. They didn't draw good. The ratings were low. Peacock didn't see viewership. That's it. No women's. We'll be lucky if we get another women's only pay-per-view within the next 7 years, let alone in 7 years. It might be 17 years at this point. But I am absolutely upset that the women are, I believe, I'm going to make a prediction, the women are going to get blamed for this. Like, see, you women are really not over, even though they are. But let's talk history. The very first Evolution pay-per-view was done because WWE started their relationship with Saudi Arabia, and at the time, women couldn't go to Saudi Arabia. Fine, cool. But you also had the Ronda Rousey factor. She was there, she was at her height of her popularity. The pay-per-view did good. It did all right. It didn't do good or great or fantastic. It did good, but mostly because on the heels of and the cape of Ronda Rousey. The biggest woman's name you got right now in the women's division is probably Rhea Ripley, but she is nowhere at the level of Ronda Rousey. And what about your champion, Io Sky? She defended her title in that fantastic match on night 2 of WrestleMania. And then what? Nothing. She's been seen popping up here and there, but basically she's been MIA. And she's great. I love Io. She's fantastic in the ring. But no push, no nothing. Now they're building the other women up. You got Jade coming. She just won the Queen of the Ring. You got Naomi with the Money in the Bank. You got Tiffany Stratton with the other title. Unfortunately, Liv Morgan's injury put a big damper on the plans. And now again, the journey to the pay-per-view. Out of nowhere, for reasons, Trish Stratus is facing Tiffany. Okay. Why? I love Trish Stratus. I mean, in the growing up in the Attitude Era, my wall was decorated with nothing but Trish Stratus posters. Why is she getting it? Again, it goes back to the night before Saturday Night's Main Event, like I mentioned in the old video. Goldberg's getting Gunther. Why? Cuz? Oh, okay. Cuz. Why is Trish Stratus battling Tiffany? Cuz. That seems to be the MO of Triple H as a booker. Why is this happening? Cuz. And again, the AEW White Knights love to pick and destroy AEW and Tony Khan with his booking. Well, if you can dish it, you should be able to handle it, White Knights out there. And don't get me wrong, we have the AEW sickos out there where Tony Khan can't do anything wrong. But now we get to pick on the WWE White Knights and WWE themselves. The cuz reason is the stupidest reason to do anything. Cuz. Tiffany and Trish, cuz. The buildup has been lackluster. And again, and I do believe Liv Morgan, unfortunately getting injured, put a big wrench in their plan. So pushing that to the side, still no excuse for not really getting Evolution hype. Again, 7 years ago, since it was the first one, that was the hype. Oh my gosh, the first ever women's pay-per-view. That was the hype. Ronda Rousey main eventing it added fuel to the hype. When you read between the lines and you see, oh, Evolution, they brought it back the day after All In. Pettiness. Surround the wagons of AEW with nothing but WWE things. Now, Saturday Night's Main Event is a contractual thing with NBC. And maybe this is when the Atlanta Arena was free. I don't know. I think that's where the basketball is played. I could be wrong. All right, they picked it the same day. But Tony moved an earlier start time because he's like, all right, I know there are fans for both. So some fans are going to want to watch both. So let's put All In at 3 Eastern. And Saturday Night's Main Event starts at 8 Eastern. Again, you can watch both. But no, WWE couldn't help themselves. Threw in Great American Bash on Saturday at the same time as All In. which, by the way, I don't think no one's going to, poor NXT, they're just going to get slapped in the face. And then adding more pettiness to the pettiness fire, Evolution is now on Sunday, the day after All In. So now the whole entire world is focused basically now on Atlanta. I don't know where NXT is going to be, but here's Atlanta now getting all the hype on the 12th and the 13th, and here's AEW going, well, oh. But in a recent interview, and I'm paraphrasing, in a recent interview, Tony Khan said he's like, oh, it's competition. It's what can he do? He can't do anything. He's not going to move the date. He's like, no. He booked it on the 12th. AEW is going in with All In. They're going all in with All In. And here comes WWE. Can't help themselves. And what makes me laugh even more with a tear down my eye is that in 3 weeks is SummerSlam here in Jersey. 2-night SummerSlam. In less than 3 weeks. Where was a nice break of PLEs? Or sooner, if they would have done it last weekend, all right, you got a nice full month. But no. Once Saturday night's main event is over, once Evolution is over, that July 14th Raw, here we go. You got to start building SummerSlam. All we have as of right now, just one match: Cena and Cody. One match for a 2-night SummerSlam. You can't really predict a women's match yet because again we have the Evolution pay-per-view. So then they got to go, if Triple H is ready, he's got to go fifth gear on that this Monday. Like I said, this Monday on the 14th, they got to go. All right, we got to start building for SummerSlam. Let's hurry. It's like, does he have that ready to roll? Is the script ready, or is he just phoning in and going like, all right, let's get over through Evolution, and then we'll build. Yeah, in less than 3 weeks to build 2-night SummerSlams. He's going to make a full card for 2 shows. Both nights may have 6 matches tops. We never know. But it's like, unless he has a game plan ready. But I just don't like it. And I just don't want to start reading reports. Well, management's unhappy with the women, or the ratings for viewers for Evolution were this number, this low, and they didn't make it to 5,000. Women are going to be blamed. Because WWE never blames themselves. Let's think back to the McMahons years ago. Remember? We are the authority. We've realized that the shows have been bad. Really? Why is that? Ratings are dropping. Really? Why is that? Again, all of you on the internet want to give it to Tony Khan. Cool. He is the head booker. Sure. Why isn't many people giving it to WWE? Why do they get a pass? Because they're the almighty WWE? No. If you're going to rip Tony Khan a new one for his lack of booking, horrible booking, whatever you want to call it, I think it's fair that WWE gets its fair share. And I already know what Triple H said months ago on the road to WrestleMania 41. The internet fans are not reality, and we need to shut up and enjoy the product. Actually, he said things worse. I'm not going to repeat it here on my channel. It's fair. As a fan of both, I can ridicule both and I can praise both. But this weekend got me a little ticked off where it's like, all right, NXT, Saturday Night's Main Event, and then the Evolution card. Why? Again, the women's roster, yes, both Raw and SmackDown and NXT have big women rosters. That's fine. But the build-up, the hype hasn't been there. And just it's Trish. They just did that with Goldberg. Oh, it's Goldberg and Gunther. Oh, okay. No, it's just Tiffany and Trish. They're doing it again. Triple H is pulling it worked on Raw, let's do it again on SmackDown. Lazy, but mostly pettiness. And again, I don't want to wake up on Monday mornings, go to websites or reports or whoever's reporting on it that management gave the women a new one, they ripped them apart, or anything like that. Because if the women are noticing that the tickets aren't selling that strong, interest isn't high on the pay-per-view. Again, we're not even at the weekend yet. Right now on Wednesday night, maybe they're feeling pressure. Maybe they're feeling like, oh crap, the interest is low. It's it's landing on, I think there's about 6 matches signed for Evolution. All those 6 matches, all the women have to go, we need to step it up. But is that putting too much pressure on them? Because the pressure is going to land on them. Because not enough tickets, viewership, not interest is not there. And I don't like that. And why is this happening? Because WWE just couldn't get out of their own way and had to stick it to AEW. Now, the show that has my attention for this weekend is All In. It's hopefully going to end with what I think is Hangman Adam Page winning the title. But those women on that Sunday show, I'm not going to say they gotta put their A game on or they better do good. It's not their fault. I'm sure they're all going to go out there and put their best effort forward. Yeah, that's what you hope for every show. But these women don't deserve, I think, this pressure that is out there where low ticket sales, the interest is low, the booking of all the matches have been, they don't deserve it. It's not their fault. They could have done Evolution another time, not this weekend. Because again, what if some fans from AEW wanted to see it, but then maybe there are fans going to AEW in Texas for All In, but then they're making a vacation of it. Like, oh, well, I made plans to go here or there or fly home or go home and sleep. Then maybe they're not going to watch Evolution because they're burned out from All In. When news was made that Tony Khan moved up All In at 3 o'clock to accommodate with Saturday Night's Main Event, I think that was a smart move for Tony. Look at that. He could have been like, no, we're going to start at 7 o'clock Eastern. Go start 1 hour before Saturday Night's Main Event and all the attention on us. He moved it earlier. Cool. But WWE could not help themselves. And I don't like it. I am upset. I am PO'd because I feel for the women. Saturday Night's Main Event is going to do good. Again, 10,000 plus tickets. They're fine. Evolution, on the other hand, I don't know. I hope the women, all 6 matches are 5-star matches. I hope for their sake they pull out all the stops. But I just hope Monday morning or as we go on, we find out TKO held a meeting with the talent and scolded the women, or management of WWE told the women, look, or we find out those final numbers of the show and they're really bad. WWE's not going to be like, yeah, you know what? It was our fault. We should have planned it on another date. WWE admit they were wrong? Not in my lifetime will I ever see that. Because why? It hasn't happened in my lifetime yet. And it probably never will. Maybe not in your lifetime either if you're a younger viewer here. But we'll never see that. So yeah, so again, to wrap up real fast, it's an action-packed weekend, but it's a very unnecessary action-packed weekend. And again, I feel bad for the women, for the ladies. They're all talented. I have some favorites over there. But it's not fair. I don't think it's fair to them. Because again, Saturday Night's Main Event was always going to get the attraction because of Goldberg. The attention's all in there. And then someone in creative went, well, what about the women PLE? Oh yeah, let's just get more programming against AEW. Absolute pettiness. Pettiness that we know WWE does a lot. But here they could have put their big boy pants on and be like, no, let's just do Saturday Night's Main Event, contractual agreement with NBC, call it a day. Great American Bash could have happened on the 5th. Could have. And the Evolution pay-per-view could have happened later. Or not at all. The women, I love the women WWE, but they don't have that fire that they did 7 years ago. Again, Ronda Rousey was carrying that flag. And again, it was the first one. But when you don't return a pay-per-view, and then when you do, it's 7 years later, what does that tell you? And when you see when the said pay-per-view is booked that's returning in 7 years to follow an AEW one, what does that show you? Pettiness. So that's all I got. Again, I hope to be doing predictions soon, whether on my channel or with my boy Glenn. We'll do predictions for All In. Most likely, I think I'm going to join him as well. And then I'll try to put a link on it on this channel in the status area where you can see my predictions of All In this Saturday. If you're gonna watch this weekend, enjoy whatever show you're gonna watch this weekend. NXT, All In, Saturday Night's Main Event, Evolution. Enjoy it. It's a big weekend for wrestling, but again, though, I'm not liking walking into it right now. But again, that's just me. Gab about it in the comments section. If you like what you saw, please hit that like button, hit the subscribe tab, and hit the notification bell. So when I do put another video, again, which I will, you'll get the notification of it. Again, thank you so much for all you 100 subscribers out there. Thank you for letting me reach this milestone. Thank you for the AEW, where we're going to episode 7, where we're going towards All In. Thank you for making it almost 60 videos. We're almost there. We're just 2 away from 60. Most popular video since of all the Gabbin with Oof series. So I do appreciate it. Thank you all to everybody. As always, please take care of yourself, everybody around you, and of course, God bless.